We can reallocate their resources to something useful and put Ron and Terry's expertise into great use designing the lifeboat. I'm sure we wouldn't regret putting them to work on that, given their track record of working with Chronotech. Ron and Terry. Why does that seem like it should be a reference that I understand as well?
I saw what was coming. It broke him. He refused to believe that it could be changed.
22.
He cast aside the only people who could have convinced him otherwise.
Huh. Why 2022? Beth was holding on to the term 2021, wasn't she? This is a timeline that goes up to... there, 2021. End of time. That's when he thought the end of time was coming. Solution to fracture earliest estimated delivery, 17 subjective years after end of time. January 5th, phase 3 complete, end of time prep. There's a lot here to take in. Can I actually read any of these? Right. Here we go.
17 years.
Yeah.
He lived through twice.
Mm-hmm.
All of it mapped out, from memory.
He knew the market trends before they occurred.
Yep.
He had the tools to make a fortune, and he did.
But it also extends on 2, 3, 4, 5 more years. Because that's when he thought it was going to happen, right? This is when fracture begins, Monarch Time Machine Frame completed. In what distant deeps our skies burnt the fire in thine eyes? On what wings dare we aspire? What the hand dares seize the fire? I am the symmetry of fear, I am the weight of salvation, I am chosen. Cannot question the path, this is our only salvation. Sickness, permanent cure. Symptoms getting worse, projected estimate uncertain. So what happened to change things to hours instead of years? I'm gonna have to properly scour through this at some point. Those were his projections anyway, so I wonder how come he ended up being so far off with those things. Anything over here of any interest? No. Some beer. There's some beer. Get guzzling it. It's like nom 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 nom. Right. Have I caught everything along the way? Looks like I have. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 things left. Okay, let's go do the last of this then. These acts are getting a lot shorter. Oh, it's a keyboard machine. Huge.
Paul was a powerful man, the leader of an empire, but behind the veil, he was a dying man.
Yes.
The signs were clear.
He had his own MRI, magnetic resonance imaging scanner. Had his own entire medical thing up here. What the hell happened then?
Dr. Amaral was the one thing keeping Paul alive, but reading through their exchanges, there was something more than professional going on.
That's not my place to comment on.
Really? So what started out as me making a joke is now suddenly they're in love and stuff. I find myself at a loss. We knew that the fracture would arrive. It was clear very quickly that the process was occurring much faster than Paul's projections. His experiences had led us to believe. That was alarming in itself, but there's another concern. With the fracture, Paul's condition seems to be accelerating rapidly. I don't know what to do about either one of those issues. I haven't had a chance to examine Paul properly, and of course he won't consent to any real tests at this point. He won't take the time, not with the situation being as critical as it is. He has to prepare for the gala, to take care of every little stupid thing Martin trots out for him. He won't think of himself at all, and I'm afraid that'll cost us dearly, so I don't know, I'm just speculating, but I believe this acceleration is a reaction to the stutters in time. In zero state, his wave function is further disrupted by the excessive chronon energies within his body. Before the university incident, before the fracture, the condition was progressive but controllable. The lack of stutters helped keep it in check. Now its progress is rampant, and I worry that it may reach a critical point soon. We always knew that was a possibility, but all of our projections assumed we would have years, time enough to come up with a cure or a way to stop its progress. Which means there's a very real chance that in the near future Paul's condition overtakes him, and if he does become a shifter, I don't know what to do about it. We haven't been able to help Dr. Kim. I don't know what we could do for Paul. I don't know what to do. The treatments are still working, but they take a toll on him, and their effect is greatly diminished. I'm concerned we may hit a point where he's forced to use them so often that the treatment becomes worse than the condition itself. And yet I don't see any other options. He will not rest. He insists on doing so much. I know he chafes under his dependence on the treatment. He sees it as a weakness. I'm afraid I may lose him. Yeah, where did all this come from? They did not have any of that chemistry at all. They didn't even hint at anything like that, and now they're just overtly stating it because reasons. Sure, go with it.
You're not supposed to be wearing that.
No, look, I can explain.
Who the fuck are you?
Wheeler. I'm tech support. No, seriously, just put the gun down, man. I'm just here to make sure the chamber's working right, okay? Just routine.
Your security clearance doesn't match the outfit.
Joyce! Help!
So what would have happened if I had done this right on top of them? Oh, nothing like that. Well, did. That went well. So, it looks like my time explodey dude man thing doesn't work against those guys when they're right there with him. Not gonna have the conversation this time?
Nope, not gonna
have the conversation this time. And that's not gonna work. Yeah. Will you just die, please? Both of you. Love this. Reload? Fine, there's one guy dead. Can I shoot Charlie? Charlie, hey. No, does not. Come here, you biznitch. I want to punch you in the biznitch. Is that? Well, dick. And I'm like, you bitch. And he's like,
Thanks for the heads up.
punch.
Joyce, thank God. Shit, that could have been real bad.
Cool.
You're Charlie.
Yeah, let me get this door open.
He's Charlie, hey. Right, whilst he's doing that, I'm going to go check out these things. I'll be like, you bitch.
They'd stockpiled all the chronon particles from ground zero to keep the lifeboat running.
Enough
Yes,
to hopefully
we know.
last until a proper solution was discovered.
Jesus. Everyone, please be advised that we are now at a point where lifeboat activation may occur. Accordingly, I have ensured that preparations are underway for activation. As a part of that, what chronon particle stores still remain at the Ground Zero harvesting operation are being moved to the headquarters and placed into the Master Chronon Particle Repository, ready to be placed under the CFR's control. Please be aware that what we have managed to accumulate until this point is very likely to be all the chronon particles we ever have access to. Due to the fracture's effect on the Jack Joyce field, the Ground Zero anomaly is showing definite signs of weakening. As a result, the chronon particle yield decreases drastically and will soon drop to baseline. While we will obviously continue more traditional chronon particle harvesting operations in order to maximise our stockpile, we all need to recognise that sourcing them outside of the Ground Zero conditions is extremely inefficient, or in plain terms, unless we find another source of chronon particles, and I don't believe we will, what we have now is all we will ever have. Please be aware that all use of chronon technology eats into our limited resources, and while we of course recognise that we need to have our strikers and other soldiers operating stutters, each operation undertaken will eat away at our stockpile and, in very real terms, cost us days of lifeboat runtime. Accordingly, we have to plan all use of this technology closely and choose our battles carefully. That said, we should also realise the ongoing situation with Jack Joyce constitutes an emergency, and will most likely require unconventional chronon particle investments. Just the same, we should be aware of the cost. I expect to see projected chronon particle consumption rates for the foreseeable future and simulations of how long our stockpile will last, adjusted for all of the scenarios we have discussed. See our last meeting minutes in our next Monday meeting minutes. In our next Monday meeting. Ish. Why did he just wander over here and knock that thing over? Why'd you do that, dude? It's like, wait a minute.
The lifeboat revolved around the countermeasure. He knew Will would try to take it back. That's why he was killed.
Sure.
He knew I'd try to do the same eventually.
Yep.
Clearly, he was right.
We know all this because, Unlike you, we've been paying attention to the things that you've said previously, and we have brains. People, because there seems to be a certain lack of clarity about when it's appropriate for someone to enter the CFR chamber and mess with the chrono field regulator, and because I just had to fire Kevin Janeway because he did that exact thing, let me remind you of the approved CFR procedure. What was that? Did that come from the... Oh, it's outside. It's the neighbours taking their kids to... No, they can't be going to school. It's a Sunday. Taking them out somewhere? Oh, anyway. You do not touch the CFR. Period. I may touch the CFR because I'm the lead technician in charge of it. Dr. Sophia Amaral may touch the CFR because she's our head of research and she knows it. And the cats knocked my keyboard onto the floor, which took a whole bunch of pictures, which was really amusing. But then I did notice for a little while that they'd also hit the button that turned off the recording, so I've actually played past this point. And yeah... So I went back and did the previous 2 levels and this one because by restarting the level I had default equipment and I wanted the same weapons that I picked up last time, so... Yeah, anyway, let's carry on with this. I didn't get very far, but still, I'd read a bunch of stuff, so I was kind of miffed. I may touch the CFR because I'm the lead technician in charge of it. Dr. Sophia Amaral may touch the CFR because she's our head of research and she knows what she's doing. Mr. Paul Serene may touch the CFR because he's Paul fucking Serene and it's his CFR. Nobody else touches the CFR. On occasion, some enormously lucky individuals who have been personally trained by me and are proven to be very, very dependable and incredibly good at their jobs who don't have a track record of trying to attend to the CFR chamber like paint-huffing imbeciles because they just wanted to take a closer look at it and who have remembered to bribe the lead technician in charge of the CFR with Tom Waits tickets may be given written instruction to perform specific procedures on the CFR. That will be a great honour and a sign of a significant degree of trust. And those people should be recorded all professional respect and an appropriate degree of brown-nosing and or passive-aggressive displays of envy by their peers. Or to put it another way, you do not touch the CFR unless you want to join Kevin in the how to stop being an arrogant dumb shit who jeopardised the only hope of a future for the entire human race because his mansplaining ass thought that what the CFR really needed was a random dude who knew better self-improvement course down at the unemployment office. Which I'm sure is where we all believe he was escorted to by those armed men. There are no exceptions to this. The entire lifeboat protocol depends on the CFR being present, properly connected and functioning normally. You do not want to jeopardise this. This is bigger than any of us and we are not here to fuck around. Lauren McStevenson, lead CFR tech, and giant douchebag. Anyway. Alright Charlie, do your thing. I've already done all this, so yes.
There you go, Joyce. You're just hoping you know what the fuck you're doing.
Some really good commentary that
Me too.
you missed as well, actually. So I was getting really, annoyed and shit. So I was like, eesh. This is where Hatch
Well,
was.
There it is. CFR.
Yep, Charlie's badge.
Measure. Whatever it's called.
Sure.
Help yourself, Joyce.
You gonna stop talking? Right. What happens if I... No, because there's the dead body over there. Liam's dead body. He will actually say stuff about this if you look at it. But I had to sit through another conversation first. Are you gonna do it now?
Something had got
There
down
we
in the
go.
chamber before I arrived.
Yeah, we know what that was. We saw the
Whatever
episode.
it was bloody.
Cool.
I'd seen the dead guy before.
Liam Burke.
What the hell happened to him?
Yes.
He met his match. Let's move on.
Oh, yeah, I'd seen him a couple times actually. I think that if you
Yeah.
chose
Can we get the hell out of
the
here?
other option, Burke would be the one that's here helping you rather than Charlie. Right. Personal notes on the CFR, January 5th, 2011, Dr. Henry Kim. The thing feels like a conundrum wrapped in a puzzle. It's an incredible piece of technology, and I've already read this once, and I feel like we're only scratching the surface of what it can do, and we've already learned so much. I thought I had a good understanding of the intricacies of chronon particles and their practical applications before. Now I realise that I've still got a great deal to learn. The chronon field regulator, as I've decided to call it, is a little miracle. How such a small device can do so much is beyond me. I know it taps into the Jack Joyce field, but I don't know how. My experiments just show it can do it. It can also manipulate the field. I wish I knew how. Still, the mechanics of its operation give me ideas, new avenues of thought I've been trying to find for such a long time. The task that I've been set by Mrs. Serene has, frankly, stumped me for years. Knowing that what we observe as the passage of time is just the result of chronon particles being constantly generated within the Mayer-Joyce field is a simple fact that I've been aware of for a long time. But being able to manipulate those particles in a meaningful way, well, that's another question. The mechanics of the situation are clear, almost frustratingly so. In a zero-state environment, there are no chronon particles, and thus time is frozen. The idea of artificially flooding an area with chronon particles to enable the passage of time is the obvious solution. But actually finding a way of doing that, that's something else. Not only are chronon particles incredibly difficult to source, so obtaining enough to actually stutter-proof an area for any time longer than a fraction of a second has always seemed impossible. Perhaps even more importantly, the mechanism of manipulating the particles in a way that would actually allow me to define a certain volume of space as stutter-proofed has constantly eluded me. Well, Ground Zero has solved the former problem for us. We're almost up and running, and very soon we will have the ability to harvest chronon particles at useful rates. We'll be able to build a truly formidable stockpile of them in the years to come. As for the latter problem, manipulating the chronon particles, that seems to be something the CFR does with ease. Its ability to tap into the Mayer-Joyce field and affect changes in its topology is exactly what I need. Unfortunately, I don't know how it does it. I don't have a clue, and I don't know how to effectively control these effects. But my research into the particle effect of its operation has given me ideas for a different kind of chronon technology that works on a somewhat similar principle, except instead of tapping into the Mayer-Joyce field, it generates a similar, localized field of its own, an artificial chronon particle field. And within that field, we can manipulate chronon particles at will. This means that we should be able to create stutter-proofing technology, allowing us to shield a certain area from the effects of zero state. And I believe I will be able to miniaturize the technology to allow for personalized devices with the same effect. Almost like an environmental suit of sorts, with a harness the user would wear to create a chronon field around his body. There are still many challenges here, one of which is that any significant volume of stutter-proof space will incur an unacceptably high drain on chronon particles, which are a decidedly limited resource. Obviously, with the lifeboat protocol requiring a large stutter-proofed area that we can make in for years, quite possibly decades, this is a critical issue we have to solve. And Mr. Serene has made that quite clear to me. Frankly, even with Mr. Hatch backing me, the thought of disappointing Serene over this makes me quite anxious. I understand his concerns, and they are of course entirely founded, but the man's intensity is unnerving. In any case, I'm hopeful that I will figure out this problem soon. I'm hoping to be able to use the CFR itself to regulate the flow of chronon particles. Given its nature, I suspect it might be eminently suitable for such a role in the lifeboat project and cut down our chronon consumption rate by a great margin. My control over the CFR is limited, but this seems to be a very basic functionality for it, so I'm optimistic that I can do it. I'm still looking into it, one thing at a time. We've already made great progress, and I will say that Mr. Serene's been quite complimentary with his successes, so I think he'll give us the time we needed. Well, it's not like he has a lot of choice in the matter. I'll be honest, the CFR is becoming a bit of an obsession for me. I wish I could sit down and have that conversation and just ask those questions. How did he build it? What's it actually for? But I've been denied that opportunity. A part of me wants to open the CFR up and get to the bottom of it, but the potential consequences terrify me. We've already seen what it can do if unleashed. Even worse, there's the possibility that I couldn't put it back together, and just the idea of making a mistake like that is a positively bowel liquefying thought. Having to explain that to Mr. Serene? No thank you. So as it is, I've only dared to open up a bit of the casing to get a rough idea of some of the engineering inside. It's amazing work, and it has certainly been a lesson in humility for me. I still have a lot to learn, but I'm a very fast learner, and this has to be the most important work anyone has ever engaged in the history of humanity. If we succeed in our mission, the world will not soon forget the name of Dr. Henry King. Right. Is there anything else in here? I don't think there was. I think that was the last of them. Yeah, I think that was everything. Yeah. Now I just have to go grab this thing, and then there's nothing until the end of the act, is there? Which is, I think, not that far away. No? Nothing else shows up? Nope. Right, let's do this then. Let's go get this and see,
It took 11
see Jack
years for
being
Will to build the countermeasure.
douche again.
Beth died for it.
Yeah,
and
we
I
know.
knew it could fix the fracture.
Uh-huh.
This fucking thing.
Problem
Maybe
was,
try pressing the actual button, not just that random bit on the side. You know, that big button-shaped thing right in front of you, underneath the coloured parts? Yeah, just shove it into your dick.
Before that ever happened.
University time machine. We've got the core here.
Yes, we know. You've commented on that several times.
I need to get to the chamber above.
No problem. Got a way up right here.